And still another unusual twist. Israel taking immediate action to protect its airspace following the disappearance of Flight 370. Israel quickly putting in place new security measures as some fear the missing plane might become a weapon of mass destruction. A former advisor of Prime Minister Netanyahu says Israeli officials see Iranian fingerprints in this whole thing. Joel Rosenberg joins us. Nice to see you, Joel.
Good to see you, Greta.
So the Israelis think that plane is still up there, is still out there. It's not in the bottom of the Indian Ocean.
We are watching a spellbinding international geopolitical thriller. I mean, this is playing out. I'm a novelist post my Netanyahu life. This is playing out moment by moment in a mystery that everyone wants to know what the answer is. The Israelis have a specific concern. They're watching a security environment deteriorate all around them. Syria is imploding. You've got chemical weapons that, supposedly were supposed to be removed. Now, what will the Russians do? So they're watching very closely, and they're probably a target,
but
among others.
Is that being cautious, or is that having a specific piece of intelligence that gives rise to a legitimate, reason to take, increased caution? Not that Israel shouldn't always be, cautious, but is there something they know?
I can't answer that question. I mean, like many of the questions you're asking, you're watching a situation where we can't even get an answer from the Malaysian Airlines. When did you know that you had lost your plane? So the Israelis are operating in an environment where things are deteriorating all around them. And what they and by not knowing what they know, here's what they do know. They know Al-Qaeda, Iran, Hezbollah, Islamic Jihad. Everybody wants them hit. And you even had a few months ago an Iranian video where a plane crashes, suicide kamikaze style, into Tel Aviv. So you have to take every precaution.
I understand Israel's problem.
But I can't tell you whether they know something, and we're not going to know, I think, for a while.
You know what I'm surprised about is that we don't hear much talk by our government here. Now, we have the USS Kidd over there, and we've had the FBI and the NTSB, but it's not, you don't hear our leaders, our politicians out talking about it all the time. I know, and which struck me as odd that we're not hearing a lot from them on it.
Well, and you're not hearing any country except Israel actually talk about taking increased security measures. That's how sensitive the Israelis are to this, and it's their experience. They haven't lost their own plane, any of their planes, since 1968. Nobody's hijacked an Israeli plane. But once you have a situation in a place where Al-Qaeda once held a conference, in a region where it's so clearly no man's land in the sense of security, that every interview you've had has described, the Malaysian military doesn't seem to know even a protocol of how to keep track of a plane like this. So
well, it has a little bit of that who's on first aspect to it. I mean, it's like, where it's just like, Malaysia doesn't even know they lost their plane for 5 hours. Then they've got to go flying through military radar, and they do nothing.
Well, it would be comical if it wasn't so dangerous, and obviously,
totally. 239 people missing.
It's a thriller that we need to hope that it gets solved safely and quickly.
Joel, thank you.
Thank you, Greta.
Straight ahead, how could the revelation that Thailand was hiding information about Flight 370 impact the investigation? That's next. Also, this investigation is getting stranger every single minute. Are there new clues that the plane might have landed safely? You're going to hear from a former 777 pilot and a crash investigator, and you can tell us what you think happened to the missing plane. Tweet or post using #Greta370Theory.